station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 5 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Robin, as I walk through the mall, there are people selling things in the middle of the mall. There's like lots of these things set up. Like you have the permanent stores, and then on the floor, I guess, I don't know, people buy time or whatever. The space.
Oh, the kiosks.
They're kiosks,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
And it's a very interesting thing if you pay attention to how they sell stuff. There's a guy at the very far end of the mall selling hot tubs. And now, hold on a second. Hold on. He's not selling hot tubs, though. He's got hot tubs for sale.
Oh, okay.
But what he's selling is peace and relaxation.
Oh,
Look at the signs that he's got all around it. He's got this beautiful blue. I think it's a Caribbean picture or something like that. Maybe it's even Florida. All right, but this beautiful scenery, right? And it says Serenity. In fact, I think that's the name of the brand name, Serenity.
Oh, my
right?
gosh.
So they're selling peace and relaxation. Well, who wouldn't want that?
Yeah.
If you say, would you like to buy a hot tub? No. Would you like to buy peace and serenity? Yes.
Yes.
Well, you don't need to buy a hot tub. I got a book here that's going to do it for you.
Yeah.
Barb Schmidt wrote the book, and I don't know her, but I mean, just looking at her face, I'm just at peace just looking at her face. Mm-hmm. Barb is the founder of Peaceful Mind, Peaceful Life, which is a community outreach program through Florida Atlantic University. So she's here in Florida, huh?
Nice.
She's got a book called The Practice, Simple Tools for Managing Stress, Finding Inner Peace, and Uncovering Happiness. And who knows, maybe you can do it in a hot tub. It sounds good to me.
I don't see why not.
I don't either. Barb Schmidt. Good morning, Barb.
This is such a fun way to start. You have me smiling and laughing from the minute you started talking. Good morning. How are you?
Oh, good. I'm looking at your face, by the way. So you've got a peaceful face.
Oh, thank you.
I think people do that to me too. If I'm maybe it's a male female thing. Maybe, I don't know. Are you a psychiatrist? Can you answer that question?
I'm not a psychiatrist, but I'm going to tell you, I've been in psychiatry and I've been in therapy and I've been around psychiatry for over 30 years. So I could be. One day I could be.
So it's possible.
Yeah, I know a lot about it.
It's possible that maybe we affect each other. I don't mean you and me specifically, but I mean human beings because of our age differences, our sex differences, and who knows, maybe even racial differences. Some people are maybe more calmed by somebody of different race, or who knows, or different accent. You know how the Caribbean guys always give you this thing, relax, man.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's great. Relax, mon.
Relax, mon. Just chill out, mon.
I love that.
Yeah, those guys with the Rasmafarian, whatever they call it. So where are you right now, Barb?
I am in Boca Raton, Florida, sitting in my kitchen at my desk.
Oh, my.
That's very specific. That's very specific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a gorgeous day. I mean, the weather here is phenomenal, and I have a lot of windows at my desk here, and I have the doors wide open, and wow, what a beautiful day to be alive, right? The weather's gorgeous.
Do you know the cover of your book? I don't usually mention the cover of the book, but you have, is that called a dandelion, that thing that you blow the seeds off of? Is that a dandelion? What is that?
It is a dandelion.
Okay.
It's very significant, yes.
Well, here's why it's significant to me. I'm guessing this is why you put it on the book. Because this brings me back to being a kid. And weren't we more relaxed when we were kids? You pick those things, you blow them, it meant something, who knows what it meant.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I write in the book that, I used to mow the grass, and my dad used to say, mow those weeds too. And I thought, no, they're so pretty. So yes, it does take you back to your childhood. And also, think about a dandelion. It starts off as a yellow flower, turns into seed, and then you blow the seeds and they go everywhere. That's my mission and my whole passion in life, that we are a beautiful flower, and when we blow the seeds of peace and love and compassion and strength, when we act and live this way in our lives, those seeds of our lives are permeating the people around us, the communities, our families, our world, bringing peace and love to the world. So the dandelion seeds are our seeds of peace and love radiating out to the world. So
I love that.
I love that. Yeah, I think people move to Florida with the idea that it's more peaceful here, especially if you move to the beach, right?
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, how many people say, when I retire, I'm going to move to Florida? When I retire, I'm going to move to Florida. Sure. You know, with the beaches and the
Where should I move to? I'm here.
Yeah.
Oh.
No. No. So, and
North Carolina would be
Really,
good.
that's the whole point of my book. We don't have to go anywhere. You don't need a hot tub. You don't have to go anywhere to find security, strength, and peace. We have everything that we need already within us. We just need to tap into that every single day and live our lives from the inside out.
Have you ever accidentally stumbled upon something and then after it was over you said, gosh, I feel so at peace now after that?
Yeah.
Do you know what does it for me sometimes? This is weird. The tire store. Because I go to the tire store and I got to wait in that little area where they have those mints and they got the TV tuned to the Weather Channel. And you're stuck. You can't do anything until the guy comes in and says your car's ready. So you're like, oh. So you read Woman's Day magazine. You get a few meatloaf recipes, and when you're done with that, oh gosh, I feel so good. I should do this every day.
Yes, you're just really just sitting. You know, you are engaging by reading magazines and stuff, but how often do we just sit? Not very often.
Sometimes people will try to fool themselves and say things aren't bad, I can make it through the day, I have the stress, but I'm going to suppress it. How do you help to reach those people to really take a look at themselves to say, okay, I have to fix something?
Well, for me, it all starts with spending time sitting with yourself. You know, in the beginning of my book, I talk about my struggle with bulimia. My life as a child was pretty traumatic and pretty chaotic and difficult. But through all of that and through treatment and finding that I was looking for everything that I needed from the external world. So many people are looking for something externally to fix them or, oh, my life's not so bad and this isn't so bad. How do I really get connected and really know deeply what is going on in my life and what do I need to change? What actions do I need to take? And we can't really know that if we're only externally driven. We've got to sit down with ourselves in quiet and let the thoughts come and go and just start little by little each day connecting within. And I like to say to people, you know, listen to your heart, go into your heart regularly and just listen to what it's telling you. Not to do anything yet, but just kind of check in with yourself little by little each day and see how you're feeling. What am I thinking? What are my deep desires? That's the first, for me, it was everything for me the past 30 years in my life and my recovery, and it's really the first step in trying to sort out, you know, why am I here, what's going on in my life, and what is it I really want to do and need to do.
Yeah, you know what's hard for me to do? It's hard to toss away the garbage, like the stuff I really shouldn't even be worrying about. It's hard for me to just say, let's stop thinking about it. You know, people say, just get it out of your mind. Oh, shit, how do you do that?
Yeah, right.
It's true. It's not that easy. That's why I call it the practice. It's a practice. Each day, little by little, you set that intention that, wow, I'm worrying about something that I have absolutely no control over. And that's the whole key. When you sit down with yourself each day, you start connecting within. You start recognizing that, wow, my real power is inside. I have zero power in the external world. None. None of us have any power. We don't really have any power over anything out there. We can plan.
That's true.
Hope for the best, but we have no power over anything outside of ourselves. So when you start to get that, then the worry, you're able to, it kind of breaks you free just a little bit each day. Wow, I am spending my life right now worrying about something that I have zero control over. Is this the best use of my time, and do I really want to spend my time like this? And of course, as you get older, you start to recognize, no, I don't want. Life is limiting. I mean, life is finite. We're not here forever.
And people have that fear. Sometimes they mask the fear of really breaking out to do something. So how do you give them the courage?
Little, in baby steps. You know, definitely fear is real. We do have fears. We do have limiting beliefs, and we can't change that overnight. It has to be a practice. It's a little by little practice of starting to let go, starting to loosen the reins of the fear, starting to look at the fear. Many times we're not really looking at it. We're afraid, but we don't know what's making us afraid. So if you sit down with yourself each day, you start to connect with, what am I really afraid of? And then you say, okay, I'm afraid of this. Now what could happen to me as a result of this? You know, the Buddha said, he was called the awakened one, and my practice is not about religion at all. It's about all these great teachings of all these masters and how can I live my life based on some of these great principles and these teachings. He's the awakened one. How do we wake up to how we're feeling? What's happening? What am I afraid of? Where am I holding myself back? It's just all about waking up to who we are and what are we actually feeling. Most of us don't know.
The difficult part for me, and we'll have to do this after the break, but just real quick, I'll kind of give you a heads up of what I want to talk about after the break, and we'll focus on the book a little bit more than we have so far. But I think if I were talking to a dietitian right now and she was telling me the recipe for something, it would be cut and dried. Mm-hmm. This doesn't sound so cut and dried. So maybe, Barb, when we come back, if you can maybe use that as a metaphor, what's the recipe for peacefulness? What's the recipe for stress-free? What do I need to do specifically? Maybe there's some things you can help us out with. The book, again, is called The Practice. I guess that's a hint. And Barb Schmidt is the author. And what a fun interview, by the way. So we'll take a little break and we'll be right back.
For more information, go to abetteryouhealthcare.com or call today to set up your appointment. 352-615-5566.
Your home is safe, or is it? AA Lock, Dock, and Security. The name has been a staple in Ocala since 1985. Do you have the right equipment in place to have peace of mind when you are at home or away? AA Lock, Dock, and Security has the right people to install and monitor your home or business. Call today for a free on-site security analysis. Call 867-1965. AA Lock, Dock, and Security, 219 Northwest 10th Street, 867-1965.
Your weekends are getting a little retooled.
Swear to God, not making a joke.
Check this out. New shows? Check. We are my force. Some new talent? Check. Let's welcome the guys.
Let's get it going.
Arnie Spanier.
Unbelievable.
TJ Reeves.
This is what you get.
Your weekends are on fire. Because that's how exotic it is.
We are my force.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY, only $4.99. Plus, DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
All right, 18 minutes after 11 o'clock. One of the things about being a broadcaster, a personality, whatever we are, is that and Robin and I talk about this all the time. You and I talk about this all the time, Robin. You have to be on, right?
Yes.
You have to be on. This is one of those interviews, though, I don't feel like I'm on. I feel like the interview we're having with Barb is like being with family and, like when you're sitting around and you don't have to be on. Mm-hmm. You can just kind of chat. Isn't that a cool feeling? Every cool guest doesn't give that to us, but Barb is doing it. Barb, we didn't lose you, do we?
No. I feel like I've known you guys my whole life.
Wow. It feels that way to us, I think. I'm sure. So let's talk about that for a second, because that would mean, okay, if I were to try to figure out the recipe, we were talking about that before the break, what would be the recipe for me personally? It would be just to get away from the places where I have to be on, so that I can be with people where I don't have to be. I can just kind of take my shoes off and just talk about stuff. It doesn't have to be important.
Yeah.
Or say nothing at all. Just drink a tea or something. Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. Did we lose Barb?
She's gone.
Ay.
She's gone. She'll call right back.
She'll call back? Okay.
Yeah, I don't see the lights anymore. I know.
She started talking. I heard one breath. Yeah. Just like that.
Yep.
Like an arrow going into a deer. I heard that. Oh, man, this is disappointing. Wonder what happened.
Yeah, I don't know if it's on our end or her end.
Well, if you're just tuning in, that was disappointing. The book is called The Practice. Barb Schmidt is in Boca Raton right now, probably saying, what happened?
Yeah.
Either that or she doesn't know she was cut off and she's still
answering
talking.
the question.
Yeah.
Probably.
Can you imagine? She doesn't realize she's not talking to us?
Yeah.
The simple tools for managing stress, finding inner peace, and uncovering happiness Come on, Barb, call back. Do we have a backup number?
No.
No? Oh, my goodness. Well, we'll be giving the book away in just a little bit. You know who she looks like on the back cover? She looks a little bit like the young version of the woman who used to play the daughter on Archie Bunker's show. What was that?
Oh, Sally Struthers.
Right. A young, like not the way Sally Struthers looks now, but the way she
the way she was
young.
back then. There she is.
Barb, did we get you back?
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
No idea what happened. So, just almost as soon as we got back to you, it went like an arrow going into a deer. So it's not that I've ever done that. I've never done that. To me, you know, here's an interesting thing. Going hunting for some people is relaxing. I would be so stressed out because I don't know that I can handle the idea of killing an animal.
Yeah.
Even though I eat them.
That's why we're deeply connected. Here we go.
You have a few of the greats that are your mentors, the Dalai Lama and Dr. Jane Goodall. They're both fascinating people.
Yes, and I'd like to connect that with when Larry mentioned a recipe, because I use that word a lot in my talks and my lectures. That's really what my book is. We can take all these great mentors' teachings, Dalai Lama, Jane Goodall, Thich Nhat Hanh, Pema Chodron, I have Scott Peck, a long list. But how do we take their teachings and then find what works for us and what's right for us? So my book is about finding those little places that I can institute some of these practices into my life. It won't happen if we don't find some way to sit down with ourselves every morning. That's my belief after 30 years of doing this, that we've got to find a way to connect with ourselves first before we go into the world, especially with the technology today that we're plugged in 24/7. So one of the practices is to sit down with yourself. How can we then move that throughout our day and be focused in the moment, using our breath, using some affirmations, using some mantra work? How do we take some reading for inspiration and start to really inspire us instead of only reading, magazines or the news or novels? It's fine. Those things, we have to stay connected to the world. But then how do we find some readings that actually inspire us to try different things in our lives that speak to our hearts? And then at the end, letting it all go. So I call it a recipe because no one can tell you what to do, and no one can say you have to do it for this amount of time, you have to do it every day, you have to do this, you have to do that. So I'm hoping that this book, you can read it and say, I can try this. It's an experiential path. Our lives are experiential. We try things that work and things that don't, but the most important thing is, what can we do to sustain this kind of a practice every day? What little piece can we do to sustain every day? That's it. It is a recipe book.
So if I had a recipe for a certain food, and one of the ingredients was something I didn't really like, I might not put it in my version of that recipe. Mm-hmm. And would the same thing apply here? See, the one that kind of hit me was affirmations. I've heard that before, and I tried this once before. I am okay. I'm okay. And I said, this is crazy. I keep telling myself I'm okay.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? I'll just do it. Everything else works. The affirmations didn't work for me. Other people it might work for.
Yeah.
And what I love you just said that, Larry, because what I've tried to do is find something that does work. So maybe the word affirmation doesn't work, but the whole point of an affirmation or a mantra or intercepting the thought with your breath is to stop the negative thought or the worrisome thought or the fearful thought.
Oh.
If keeping on worrying worked, if I could worry myself to a solution, we would all just keep worrying and the solution would come and we would be fine and it would be just that.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
But we know that it doesn't work. Worrying doesn't work. But what works is being able to stop the worry, ask ourselves a few questions, get in touch with the feeling of the worry, then we can possibly take an action or not. Most of the time the worry is unfounded and there's nothing we can do anyway. Sometimes we can take an action. So the affirmation or the mantra, you don't have to use that word. Find some way to intercept the thoughts that are going down a path, taking you to a place of stress that's going to start harming your health.
Well,
it's really just about intercepting the negative thoughts.
Well, and here's something that's weird too, and this might be a showbiz thing, I think. I don't know, but affirmations from other people. Like when I was much younger, I used to play music at colleges. And I did a show one time at a school, maybe 300 people in the audience, and one guy was heckling me real bad. And after it was all done, all I could think about was that one guy. And I mentioned it to the lady who hired me, and she said, well, there was 299 people that loved you. So why are you worried about that one guy? So it was like, okay, so I had 299 affirmations and one negative, and all I could hear was the negative.
A negative, yes. Because the mind The mind has a way of wanting to make you feel miserable a lot of the time, but it just does. It always goes to the negative or the comparison or the competition or she has that, so I can't have it, so I'm lacking. It's making us feel unworthy, making us feel like we've got to get going. And really when you start sitting with yourself, and this whole idea, think of this for a minute, we're with ourselves and with our mind every day, 24/7, all the way up to the end of our lives. We can't escape our mind, and we can't really escape ourselves. We are always with us. So this whole practice is about finding what works for you to start cultivating you and your mind to be a worthy travel companion on this path of life.
I like that.
Where the
A
mind
worthy
is
travel
beating yourself up.
companion.
Yeah. Be friends with yourself. Starting to love yourself first before you start loving others, because it can't work the other way around. It can't sustain the other way around.
And in your book, you also stress that people should embrace the power that they have on the social media front, because it's good to be talking one-on-one with someone in person, but it's also good to interact that way.
It's so much. When I look at the success of my book and Peaceful Mind, Peaceful Life, my nonprofit, which benefits from everything that I do, goes to this nonprofit trying to spread peace and love to the world. I have 2.4 million followers on Peaceful Mind, Peaceful Life Facebook. It's amazing. It's crazy.
Wow.
I mean, they interact with me. I have a gentleman in Pakistan that will Facebook message me every once in a while and say, Miss Barb, I'm really trying to find my peace within because there is no peace outside of me. He lives in a war zone there in Pakistan. So I'm interacting with amazing people that never would have happened if it weren't for social media. So your show is a perfect example. Look at the good and the positivity that you're offering the listeners as a interception of all the negativity that's going on in the world and their lives right now. Every chance we can get to offer some positive messages of inspiration and hope and really changing the channel in the brain from negativity to positivity is what I'm all about. And that's really what an affirmation is. So you don't even need to call it that. You can call it how do I change the channel? How do I intercept all the negativity and chaos in the external world and to find a sense of inspiration, peace, and hope internally? And that's what you're doing, and that's what my Peaceful Mind, Peaceful Life organization is trying to do, give people some hope and some inspiration to do something different.
Well, you just got another like on your Facebook page from me.
Okay.
Now you have 2,362,265
You guys are so cute.
people who like you.
That's right.
I love you. This is amazing.
I have a copy of the book here. I'd like to give it away for somebody, and I truly think that you will be able to find recipes in the book for yourself, for your own peace, your own less stressful lives. So call me if you want the copy that was sent to us by Barb Schmidt. The number is 622-9622. The rest of us have to go buy it. And Barb, can you tell us your website?
I do. My website is barbschmidt.com. And the nonprofit is peacefulmindpeacefullife.org. And the book is everywhere, and it's just been such an amazing, fun time and joy to be here with you guys this morning.
This is my relaxation. When I have a conversation with somebody that I'm just talking and not trying to... We debate a lot on this show, let me tell you. We debate.
What I feel is you guys are being who you are, which is pretty magnificent. I am just loving it.
Here we are. Let me give this book away. Come on, you've got the book. Who's this?
This is Rick.
Rick, you got the book. You know where we are, right?
In the Paddock Mall?
Yes, in the Paddock Mall.
Okay. I've never been here. I rarely get in there, but I'll
okay, well, don't go into the mall. Do you know where the food court is?
I'll find it.
On the south side of the mall, the entrance right there. We're not inside. Before you even go through the doors, look to your right. You can't miss us. There's a big sign.
Okay.
Okay?
I'll try and get there today. If not, it'll be tomorrow.
Okay,
Is that
Rick.
all right?
You got no problem. It'll be waiting for you.
All right. Thank you very much.
There you go. There you go. Another peaceful customer.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Well, Barb, thank you so much. If you're ever in the Ocala area, come on in and we'll do this again in the studio. And do you celebrate the holidays? Barb?
Yes, hello.
Oh, there you are. Something with the phone.
I know. You're still there. Yay.
I do celebrate the holidays.
You do? Okay.
Yes.
Well, have a happy whatever you celebrate, and thank you so much for being on the air with us today.
Thank both of you so much, and I will come to see you one day. Have a beautiful holiday.
That was fun. Thank you. You too. All right, we will take a little break and have fun with Joan just a bit. This is The Source, WOCA.
Fox Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. A report putting harsh CIA interrogations in the spotlight, triggering criticism against the program, but former CIA Director Michael Hayden telling Fox News...
We got an awful lot of information. Now look.
Adding, we're still relying on that information today. Hayden, who headed up the CIA during George W. Bush's second term, says he did not lie to Congress about those interrogations. Time's Person of the Year award going to the doctors, nurses, and others fighting Ebola. And an award ceremony for other winners.
2 years after being shot in the head by a Taliban assassin for campaigning for girls' education, Malala Yousafzai collecting the Nobel Peace Prize at a ceremony in Oslo, Norway. At 17, she's the youngest ever winner. It's a joint award this year with veteran Indian children's campaigner Kailash Satyarthi also recognised.
Fox Radio, Simon Owen. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Napa tire gauges are now just $1.99. The perfect gift for anyone who owns a car with tires. But when giving the gift of a $1.99 tire gauge, don't put it in one of those long jewelry boxes with a giant red bow and your wife's name on it. Because while a $1.99 tire gauge from Napa can be useful, it can't keep you warm at night. Conquer the job with Napa Know-How. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Offer expires 12/31/14.
And now, a Golf Miss Carol brought to you by Golfsmith.
On the 12th day of golf, Miss my Golfsmith gave to me 12 Pro V1s, 11 Under Armour's, 10 Golf Tech Lessons, 9 Nike pants, 8 Bertha irons, 7 Golfsmith gift cards, 6 Garmin watches, 5 Iron 2.
Come celebrate Golf Miss, happening right now only at Golfsmith.
These 2 Cleveland wedges and a tap-in birdie on a par 3.
Golfsmith, anything for golf.
Your home is safe, or is it? AA Lock, Dock, and Security. The name has been a staple in Ocala since 1985. Do you have the right equipment in place to have peace of mind when you are at home or away? AA Lock, Dock, and Security has the right people to install and monitor your home or business. Call today for a free on-site security analysis. Call 867-1965. AA Lock, Dock, and Security, 219 Northwest 10th Street, 867-1965.
Your weekends are getting a little retooled.
Swear to God, not making a joke.
Check this out. New shows? Check. Some new talent? Check. Let's welcome the guys.
Let's get it going.
Arnie Spanier.
Unbelievable.
TJ Reeves.
This is what you get.
Your weekends are on fire. Because that's how exotic it is.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY, only $4.99. Plus, DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
Are you tired of not using your home's outdoor space for entertaining or relaxation because of all the bugs and leaves? Consider adding a beautiful screen room or glass enclosure. We are Superior Aluminum and Design, a family-owned and operated business with 20 years experience in the aluminum industry, and we are accredited by the Better Business Bureau. If you appreciate superior workmanship, call Superior Aluminum and Design at 817-8058 or visit us on the web at superiораluminumdesign.com.
Hi, my name is Dr. Erica Olstein with A Better You Healthcare Acupuncture and Eastern Medicine. As primary care physicians, we use acupuncture to treat back pain, arthritis, migraines, allergies, high blood pressure, thyroid disorders, hormone imbalances, stress, and more using all natural medical therapies. We treat the source of your problems, not just your symptoms. For more information, go to abetteryouhealthcare.com or call today to set up your appointment. 352-615-5566.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
1370 WOCA.
Ocala's information station, 1370